Hey, and welcome to this week's episode of Shop Stoppin'. I just so happened to be in my hometown of Moncton, New Brunswick this week, which gave me the opportunity to check out a bike that I've been having requested for the last few months or so, and that is the 2015 Norco Threshold A1. Now, I must admit, this isn't a bike that I was incredibly pumped about checking out. I didn't really know much about it, I don't know a whole lot of people riding them, and I didn't actually love the way that it looked in pictures. But with a request, I definitely don't mind having a look at it myself. I will say, when I saw it for the first time in person, I was pleasantly surprised to see that it's quite a bit more of a looker than it is through website pictures and what I've seen online of them. Now, with it being a cross bike, of course I was pretty excited to ride it, but it being a showroom bike, we couldn't really go and do a whole lot of really dirty, gritty, and terrible things with it. So it was tiny bit of a gravel trail and some road riding just to get an idea of how it rides. So the frame set for the Threshold A1 is a double-butted aluminum frame with a mid-mod full carbon fork with through axle. It uses a full Shimano 105 11-speed group set, save for the crank, which is Shimano FC RS500. The chainrings are cyclocross gearing 46-36 with a 11 through to 32 tooth cassette. The Threshold uses a WTB SX17 disc wheel set, which of course is a through axle in the front and regular quick release in the rear. The tires mounted to it are Continental Cyclocross Speed 700x35C. The brakes are Hayes CX Comp mechanicals. The handlebar, stem, seat post, and saddle are all supplied by Norco in-house. I think that this bike was more geared towards an entry-level gravel grinding bike, and as they get a little bit higher up in the lineup, that they get a little more cyclocrossy. I would have liked to see it be a full front and rear through axle bike, but at this price point, you kind of get what you pay for. Tires mounted onto those WTB rims were Continental Cyclocross Speeds, and they came in at a 700x35C size, which is a little bit bigger than what a traditional cross bike has, but as I had kind of mentioned before, I'm kind of thinking that this level of these cross bikes are more geared towards the rider who's going to probably spend more time commuting or doing some road/gravel grinding type rides. So, of course, putting a bit bigger of a tire on there is not exactly a penalty. The first thing I noticed when I got on the bike was the fact that the head tube angle was pretty slack for a cyclocross bike. It seemed to steer a little bit slow, but it was something that I got used to relatively quick. I was just kind of surprised that it was such a slack head tube angle, really. Riding around in the first little bit, I noticed that this bike was super solid feeling. I didn't feel a whole lot of flex anywhere, and it might come down to the fact that it's relatively chunky. The fork is absolutely huge on it. Now, I wasn't on the bike for an incredibly long amount of time, but my initial riding impressions kind of give me the idea that this thing's probably perfect for incredibly long hauls on relatively rough roads. When it comes down to it, I pretty much liked everything about this thing except for the wheels. The wheels did come out of true during our short ride with it. Now, I wouldn't expect this to maybe happen with someone else who's probably maybe going to commute on this and maybe not race on it, but it's definitely something that if you're going to do any sort of competitive riding with, you're going to probably want to either upgrade your wheels or spend some time making sure that the tension is absolutely perfect and that they're not going to come out of true on you like they did for me. So that was my experience with the 2015 Norco Threshold A1. I want to thank Consolvo Bikes for letting me take this bike out for a ride and shoot some video of it, along with Jeremy for coming along with me and riding his upgraded version of the same bike. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and if there's any bikes that you would like me to have a look at like I did today, be sure to leave it in the comments below or in the comments of any other video on the channel. Like this video if you liked it, and we'll see you next time I put together a video.